Hello there, welcome everybody, it's Diorama Don here. I've been making videos now for some 15 months, specifically for YouTube, and some are good, some are bad, some are absolute crap, some are very good. They can't all be fantastic, I don't suppose, although I do try. So the worst video that I think I've ever made of the 200 or almost 200 videos that I've made was the one of a German house. It was, quite honestly, it was terrible. So I thought I'd rectify that by trying to make a decent, well, not so much a German house, so much as a street. So there will be two houses and a joining piece in the middle. So that's what I'm going to try to do, to make a better effort of making a German house. So that's basically the shape of it. That's the front. There's going to be an arch in the front with a door set back, and then that's going to be the shape of the roof, going down at that angle and then straight down there. So that's basically my shape. But the top is going to overhang. Well, as you can see, it overhangs on the side, and I want it to overhang that way as well, like so. So it's going to be easier to make the bottom and then the top, make it in two parts, and then stick the two together. So for the bottom part, I've made this arch, and I've cut the arch out. And what I shall do is, where I've cut this arch, which is the same size, the inside arch is the same as this, and then I think half an inch wider, half an inch bigger, to make the other bit. You can see what I mean. That's going to sit like that when that's cut out. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, the compass point that I used to draw the arc around there, I can utilise that same compass point by marking out the stones of the arch. That's what I'm trying to get at. Before I cut it out, I can work out how wide I want the stones to be, and then I can use my compass point to get the exact size that I want. It's a much easier way of doing it. So now that I've got this shape, I can cut the arch out, cut the outer arch out, and then I can cut a groove along these pencil lines, and they will resemble my stones set forward on my arch front. When I do it, you'll understand exactly what I mean. Okay, so that's going to be the arches. So I need two of those because there are two houses. And what I shall do also is set the door, the entrance door, back behind the arch. So it'll be, how can I explain? It'll be like that. That's the door. That's the door to get into the building, and it will be there. So I've got to cut this out to reveal the door behind. And the best way I think of doing that is I've stuck this onto the polystyrene, and although I don't need it, I've cut another arch to go on the back. And that means that with a polystyrene cutter, I can follow the lines of the cardboard, follow the line of the cardboard with my polystyrene cutter. If I try to do it freehand, it just never quite works. It's going to look awful unless you've got a perfectly steady hand and can cut at a 90-degree angle. It's impossible to do. So with this setup now, I've got this permanently on the front, this temporarily on the back, just a couple of little spot welds if you like. So now I can cut this and I can follow the front and the back of my pieces of cardboard. There we go. So I can take that out and I've got a perfect arch. Now you could do it with a sharp knife, but it's not going to look so good. So one of these things, a couple of people asked me where I got this from. I thought they were readily available anywhere, but I'm sure eBay or Amazon or somewhere like that. But I would have thought a DIY, a reputable DIY store would have something like this. But I'm sure you could track one down, and it is, for some instances, for cutting polystyrene, it is essential, really, for a model maker. Yeah, so with this you can do that, and you wouldn't be able to do that as well with a sharp knife, although it's possible. So with that there, I've lost my bloody door nut, there we are. Now that can sit behind there, and my arch, when I've cut these out, will sit on the front there, and that's going to make it look a lot more interesting, I feel. I'm hoping. So that will be the sides then. One the other side, and this back piece I don't need. I can take that off and put that at the back. I know there'll be an arch in it, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to see that. So with that there, then this piece will be at the back to make up my bottom part of my building. Okay, good. That's the bottom bit, and the top bit, I'm going to need 4 of these, so one with the windows, and that also is going to be the back, like so. And then I've got my depth that I need, which is going to be deeper than the bottom because I want it to overhang. And then with scoring this cardboard there, then I'm going to be able to put my sides on like that. Okay. So I think the best thing to do is glue all this lot together, and then you will see exactly what I mean, and you'll see the outcome. Okay, so I'll do that. I'll glue it all together. I'll come back and show you. So I stuck all my pieces of cardboard together using hot melt glue, and as you can see, my archway now is recessed from the front, which makes it look a little more interesting. When there's a door on the back there, it'll look even more impressive. And I cut my arches out and then cut a groove, if you can see very closely. I cut a groove where I'd marked out the stones from that centre compass point. Makes it a lot easier when it's done like that. Then we need coins. I'm reliably informed that corner stones are called coins. A fiddly job, a long and horrible job, but decide how wide you want it. In my case, 1/2 inch or 12 millimeters. So the cornerstones will be 1/2 inch, and then you must decide how long you want them. I've made them 1/2 inch, and then the shorter one's 3/8 of an inch. But I found the easiest way of doing it is to cut your width, in this case 1/2 inch, and then cut, better if you could see. Oh, I can't do it on the edge here. Wait, don't go away. So cut like that, a 45-degree angle, and then from the edge measure how long you want it. So 1/2 inch from there. So they will look like that. So you've got your mitre, that's the word, mitre there, and then the length from there to there, 1/2 inch, and then with sandpaper just take the edges off until you get that. So that makes a nice corner, nice sharp edged corner. Any anomalies you can fill in with wall filler, which is going to be the next thing to do. Paint the whole thing with watered down wall filler, and I can fill any of these little tiny holes and things with that. So that's the base, that's the bottom of the house, and then the top I put together so it will look like that. But what makes a German house obviously is all the I don't know what you're going to call them. The bits of wood in the front of the house. I don't know what there must be a name for them. Perhaps someone can tell me. I never know. So that's going to make the difference. I won't stick these on yet. These are all just 1/4 inch pieces of cardboard, which will go to make up the framework of the front of the house. I won't stick them on yet, because then I've got to paint in between the rafters, shall we call them that? I've got to paint in between, and then I've got to paint the rafters themselves, and it will be an impossible task to do unless you've got very fine paint brushes, and I haven't. So the thing I think to do is to take all these off first, paint the base, paint these separately, and then stick them on. I think that's the way to go. So I'll do all that and come back. That sits on there, by the way, so you can see the kind of thing that we're going to end up with, something like that. So I'll do all that, put my rafters on, put the rest of my coins on, give it a coat of watered down wall filler, and then I'll be ready for painting. So see you then. Okay, so I've given the top and the bottom parts there, well, no paint, it's all grout. I used a grey grout for the bottom, and this light coloured, like creamy yellowy colour for the top. I use grout because you can get that rough render kind of finish, rather than just a block colour of paint. It looks more in keeping with what you're trying to achieve. Stuck all my these bits, support timbers. Yeah, anyway, I put those on. I need to make a window, or have made windows for them. I used a very thin card, so specifically because it's easier to cut out, and then put a backing of this see-through, any type of see-through packaging really, but you can buy A4 sheets of acetate, and then just stick a piece on the back and stick it up there, and you've got your windows. I've got one, well, yeah, I'll show you this one. It's got the windows in already, so you can see it starts to make it look a lot better. For the roof, I've used, because I used a very thin card on the roof, it's not terribly sturdy, but it's the only way I could get that shape. It will be difficult to get that shape with 2mm card, so it's a very thin card there. But with these strips of corrugated paper, or corrugated card, cut to the width that you want, the width of the roof, they stick on there, and this is one I've done already, so it looks really terracotta tile style. And I shall paint this also with another grout, a terracotta tile grout, so automatically got the right colour. So I'll do that for the roofs. Got the door. Where's the door? I'll put a door in some. There we are. I've got a door in there with the setback recess. So when that's on there, there will be two houses that look like that. Okay, so I'll finish off both houses now. Won't take too much. And then with the other one next door like that, then I want to make a joining piece from the first floor, joining the two first floors. So I'll finish the houses and then I'll go on to doing the middle bit. So be back in a moment. Okay, so I've finished both houses now. They've both got their roofs on and all glazed with their front doors. So I've made this centerpiece, basically the same idea really as how I made the houses. Just a walkway, if you like, between the two houses. They will sit there. So that's the actual building done. I have a dilemma. What I would normally do at this stage is give the whole buildings a black wash to give them a weathered look. They look a bit nice and new, a bit too doll's housey, if you know what I mean. But I'm scared to do that in case I mess it up. I'm rather pleased with the way these turned out. So I don't want to mess anything up. So I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But whatever, I shall now make a diorama base for it. There'll be a path going round the front and sides with a cobbled street in between there, coming out to a street in the front. But anyway, I'll go ahead and do that. That's not really part of this video. I just wanted to make the German house, which I think is a better effort than the last one I made. So I'll finish it off, put the houses, well, glue it all together because it's still all in 4 pieces. Glue it all together, put it on a diorama base, and come back and show you the finished thing. Okay, so project finished now. I did give it just a very slight black wash, a very, very thin coat, just to take the newness of the colours off, just to give it a little bit of a weathering, not too much, but I think that's just about right. And then set it onto a rather large cobbled stone diorama base, and of course my trusty street lamp. Anyone interested, I have done a video on how to make a vintage street lamp. So we've got a cobbled street area in front there, and the whole point really was to show off pretty much everything that I've got, which isn't much. So I've got my half track, still haven't found the front wheel, so I'm going to have to put that way around so you can't see. And then my 2 tiger tanks, again, I've made videos previously on how to make a tiger tank, and that fills out the area quite nicely, I think, maybe like that. Okay, so there we are. Like I say, I have made a German house in the past, and I didn't really think it was up to a very good standard, so I hope I've rectified things by making this German street. I think it looks very much better. Very pleased with the outcome. Okay, just a quick... Oh, there we go, like that. Oh yes, I think I shall display this quite nicely in my living room. Very pleased with this one. Okay, so again, thank you very much for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. You will be notified when new videos come along. Click the thumbs up, And where you see the thumbs up sign, scroll along and you will see the I've initiated the thanks button. So should you want to buy me a coffee, then please feel free. A few people have done already, and it's very, very encouraging. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one, and I wish you the very best, as usual, of happy modelling.